Hello everyone, thank you for joining us for today's webinar on how to sell out your summer camps using Facebook ads. Our presenter today is Sarah McGeehan. Sarah is a client success expert here at Member Solutions. She's helped numerous camp directors plan and prepare for their events. Using her expertise and some easy-to-use online tools, many of the camps she's helped have been able to increase their signups, fill their sessions, and even expand their operations. Today, she'll share some simple strategies for creating successful Facebook ads that result in increased registrations for your camps. If you have any questions for Sarah during the call, you can type them into the questions box, and we'll do our best to get to all of those during our Q&A session at the end of the call. Please join me in welcoming Sarah McGeehan.
Thank you so much, Miranda. I am really excited to be here and sharing this information with all of you today. It looks like we have a really amazing turnout, and again, I'm going to share some insights to help you have the most successful camp season yet. In speaking with a lot of my clients as I'm onboarding them, I'm realizing that they're utilizing Facebook for posting statuses about their camps in hopes that their audience will share these things. Things don't really work that way, and they're really missing the mark on utilizing a tool in Facebook advertising to get out there to a brand new audience that may have never seen them before. So I really wanted to share some of these insights that I'm discussing on a daily basis, as I think that the information's not as out there as I would like it to be. So with that being said, again, thank you for the beautiful introduction, Miranda. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Today, what we're going to cover, we are going to talk about the first insight, which is success is all about targeting. Focusing your efforts in the right place makes all the difference for your camps. How does that work, and why does it make the difference? Insight number 2, even when people are interested, you have to create a sense of urgency for them to act now. Right now, people are thinking it's February. Summer is so far away. But you and I both know that this is the prime time to get registrations flowing and payments processing so that you're able to start getting all of your activities up and ready. You have to create that urgency to get a good response rate on your ads. And insight number 3, people often abandon forms because they're too hard to fill out. Simplify your forms to increase signups. Keep it simple. Make it so registrants only see the information that is pertinent to them, and make sure that your form flows in such a way that it makes sense. So if you stay until the end, I'm going to share with you a software that hundreds of camps all over the country use for successful online registration. And here's a hint for you. You can use this same software for your Facebook ad landing pages. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Insight number 1, success with Facebook advertising is all about detailed targeting. You want to ensure that your ad is being seen by the right prospects. This sounds really elementary, but tons of people think that saturating social media with posts and ads is going to fill their camp, when really it's only going to empty your ad spend pocket. So you want people who want to attend your camp to see your advertisement. Many organizers think that they need this brilliant headline or this amazing photo to drag people in. And I'm not saying that won't help. I'm not saying that you should abandon having a great tagline or having a really capturing photo with your ad, but that's not really what's going to pull people in. It's the people that are seeing it, and it will always be that way. Targeting is the true key to success. So what do I mean? What is targeting not? Targeting is not placing your ads in front of everyone in your town or city. It doesn't make sense to advertise to elderly people about your summer camp for 10-year-olds. So we don't want everyone seeing what you have to do, because again, the more people that see your ad, the more money you're spending. Targeting again is not just limiting the age range. It's a combination of a couple of things. It's selecting the appropriate people in your city, it's selecting the appropriate age range, and it's choosing whether or not male, female, or both. And we also want to focus on some specific interests as far as Facebook puts it in their advertising manager. So when you go to your Facebook advertising manager, in the profile on your business page, there's going to be a drop-down box, and there's an option to manage ads. You want to create an ad that directs them to your website. And once you get into the details, there's a tab there for selecting your audience. You definitely want to drive the website clicks. But in that detailed targeting, you are going to search and you are going to pick and choose the different targets that are going to make the most sense for what you're doing. Okay? So for example, a summer camp may want to focus on homeowners with a home value of $250,000 or more, with children between the ages of 5 to 8 years old. Okay? Now that ad that you're going to post is only going to show up for that demographic. So some interesting things too, and there's just not nearly enough time for me to get into all of the simple to use, but really in-depth bonuses that you have utilizing Facebook advertising. There are quite a few advanced options. So if you have a pen and paper right now, I'm going to ask that you write down these words that I'm about to say. There's the advanced options like custom audience lists. Custom audience lists allows you to bring in your own lead list and be able to match those profiles on Facebook so that those people are seeing those ads as well. So again, please jot down custom audience lists in Facebook advertising. Do a quick Google search and learn a little bit more about that. Another one that I want you to look up would be look-alike audiences. So again, please go on to Google and look up look-alike audiences for Facebook advertising. It was just brought to my attention this morning that as of last week, Facebook has announced the use of a few new items in their advertising manager as well. So the first is, everyone's probably familiar with GIFs or GIFs, whatever the pronunciation side of that debate you're on, but short videos that are typically hilarious, that are going to draw people into what it is that you are talking about. So now that's never been a real possibility before, but in your ad manager, you're going to be able to select that short video format. Another new thing that they're offering is a date comparison tool. So this is going to allow you very simply, rather than you just going back and jotting down what your stats were for the different ads that you're putting out at different times, this is going to actually allow you to see what ads are working. So is this one more effective if I modify the home value for the detailed targeting that I put out there? Was that more successful? And it's going to show you the different ads over time and how successful they are. And the third thing is that the budget and reach chart. Now, there's always been the ability to see your spending versus your reach, but now they've added a pretty little chart. And if you're anything like me, the visual really drives it home. So that's another new feature that they've put in there for you. So again, the targeting is about speaking to your market, exactly to your market. And the ad manager is going to give you a nice little breakdown of all the options that you selected. Again, in this example, homeowners with a home value of $250,000 or more and kids between the ages of 5 and 8 years old. And what it's going to do is actually show you what that reach amount is. So if you're setting this for 10 miles within your location or your city, you could reach, you know, in my example on my page, it was 19,000 people that my ad would reach. So your audience insights are going to really help you here to see what's working and what's not, and tweaking in between different ads. So again, just to very simply reiterate, you want to know who your market is, and you have the tools within Facebook to reach just those people. So moving right along, we're going to start talking about urgency. Insight number 2. Even when people are interested, you have to create the sense of urgency for them to act now. Okay, so creating urgency, and this is something that a lot of my clients have a hard time understanding. They think that people, if they're interested, they're going to click on your Facebook ad. Reality is they won't. They won't. They won't unless you give them a compelling reason to do so. So even if you're putting that out there, if you don't give them a reason to act now, you have to create that sense of urgency to take action. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You want to make the offer exclusive. This, if, in my opinion, from the clients that I've spoken with, this combination of creating urgency has been the most successful for the people that I have talked to. So take the pieces that you want or take all of it, but I have heard lots of really great things about increase in registrations from these simple steps. What's the best strategy for creating urgency? Okay, is it A, do we make our offer time limited? You know, this expires on this date at this time. Do we make our offer capacity limited? So this is only available to the first 20 people. Or do we make an additional offer for them to call you first? And this is a really key point if you're putting an ad out there for people to request more information. So when they request more information about the camps that you're offering, they're going to sit there and wait for you to call, unless you give them a compelling reason again to call you first. Now, what is this going to do for you? It's going to make it so that you're avoiding that whole phone tag. They know what your business hours are. But if you don't give them a reason to call you first, you're going to end up having to call them. And of course, you're going to get the machine, and then they're going to call you back at 10:30 at night and you're not there. And then you're going to call back and they're at work and you're going to get the machine again. And basically what happens is by that third call, they've lost interest. It's done. They're over it. So you want to make sure that you give them a compelling reason to call you first. The answer is all of the above. You really, really, really want to tie all of these things together. So, for example, if you have multiple offers, you can actually rotate them out to see what works best for you. We can say the first 15 people to call me by 5 p.m. on Friday will get a free camper kit if they sign up. But you have to call me first to get that free camper kit. And they're going to go ahead, and that free camper kit could include, I don't know, whatever. You can get really creative with those kind of things. So I have a really great way to manage that whole make an additional offer for them to call you first. A software that's going to actually give them a confirmation screen once they fill out that, you know, I want more information about what you're offering. And a screen will come up and say, hey, if you call us first, you're going to get creative offer here. Okay, so creating a sense of urgency, I'm sorry, let me just pop back there for a second. Creating a sense of urgency, you want them to act now. Again, it's February. Nobody is thinking about summertime, except me, because I get it, and I've already paid for my kid's summer camp. But truth of the matter is that you need to give them a reason. You want to start getting those funds in so that you can start planning for your summer camp. So you can pay for the face painter. So you can pay for the moon bounce that you're going to rent. It's very important that you get those funds ahead of time. You don't want everyone registering the week before camp starts. So make sure you tie up your exclusive offer with a clear call to action. Register now. Sign up here. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to insight number 3, is that people often abandon the forms because they're too hard to fill out. Simplify your forms to increase your signups. This, again, this one sounds so simple and so basic, and you, as a camp director, you need a ton of information from these parents. You need to know who's allergic to what and what medications are they taking and what is their insurance information and who is the emergency contact, who is allowed to pick them up and drop them off to camp. These are all really important things, but the way that you organize the information is going to be your make it or break it. I know that if I'm sitting there at 12:30 at night and filling out a form and I need to go find, you know, my insurance just because I want information about your camp, meh, I'm going to walk away. That's really how it goes. But also when there's a lot of redundancy, and I see this even with my kids' camp that she used to go to, they would ask me the same questions over and over again on 4 different pages. And it just didn't make sense to me. Like, I just typed that in there. Why do I have to do it again? So making sure that the information isn't redundant, that they're providing to you. You want to make sure that the registrant can see the information right off the bat for what they need. Okay, so you want to avoid losing your campers to overwhelming forms. You think that people who click on your Facebook ad, they're going to follow through and sign up, but your form itself could really deter them from doing that. Actually, many people never even finish the registration forms because they abandon. Okay? You need a simple, easy to follow registration form to get people to start and complete the sign-up process. So, what do I mean? When people are interested, you want them to sign up. I think that's pretty basic. You don't want them to give up due to a myriad of options, especially if those options do not apply to them. If your camp programs are limited by, or I'm sorry, they're organized by age group. 5 to 7-year-olds have these options. 8 to 10-year-olds have these options. You don't want your 5 to 7-year-old registrants seeing the 8 to 10 options. You need to make sure that your form is capable of being able to target to the audience that you're talking with in that exact moment. So you simplify the process, eliminate clutter, you will definitely get more registrations. I can tell you, I'm a mom first. So I have found so many things online, again, like I just said a few minutes ago, that I'm immediately ready to sign my daughter up for. And let me tell you, a mom that's ready to sign their kid up for something, there's nothing stopping her, but you have about 3 minutes. We have mom ADHD. Like, that's all there is to it. Our attention span needs to be short because we have to do 17 different things. So you want to make sure that you're just grabbing the information that is absolutely necessary in this moment and getting them to sign up. All right, so how do we create easy forms? Okay, whatever the program is that you use, I hope that these are all options, but this is a great way to organize how the information should flow, what your registrants need to see. You want to highlight the important event information. At the top of that form, you should be able to see, what am I getting, what does it cost, what are the dates? You want to use a clear, logical order. You don't want to ask for the camper's name, then the mom's email, then the camper's age, and then the emergency contact, and then the camper's address at home. It doesn't make sense. Camper information, parent information, emergency contact information, done. And then, of course, all the demographic information should come first on the form, and using drop downs with a limited number of options. I know with the program that we use here, we have the ability to do dependent fields. So again, if somebody selects 5 to 7 years old from the drop down, they're only going to see the camp programs that pertain to them. You want to separate the add-ons. So we can do that with page breaks. We can insert banner pictures within the form so that we're separating out anything that might be additional. You may have pickup and drop off, and you might have the ability to buy, again, a camper kit of some sort. You know, some parents might just want you to provide the bed cot and the mattress pad and the this and the that, so they don't have to go out and buy it. These are all things that I've seen done before. And you can have all of your add-ons in one section at the bottom so they know and can see exactly how much they're adding on to the cost of the actual camp. You want to explain the pricing options well. I don't know why people still think that if you hide pricing, you're going to do better. That's not the case. Put the pricing out there. Own what you do. There's no shame if you are a little bit expensive. You know, I'm sending my kid to you for 6 hours a day, or in my case, I send my child out overnight for 12 days. I don't care that it's expensive. I'm going with a safe option, the one that's best, and I'm going to pay for that. So make sure that your pricing is out there, because there's nothing more frustrating than getting to the bottom of a form that I've just filled out a million things about and finding out that it's $1,000 more than I thought it was going to be, and then abandoning. Make sure they know right off the bat. And then you have to ask for a lot of personal information, insurance numbers, things of that. You know, you have to ask about, you know, Is there custody agreements? I need to understand all of that. If there is personal information that is required, you can have a little blurb about why you require that information. In this day and age, so much stuff is done on technology and people are apprehensive to give any sort of personal information. So explain why you're asking, which leads me also to my next point. Prioritize your data security. Make sure the company you are working with is level 1 PCI compliant. Make sure they have the highest level of standards when it comes to protecting your information and your registrant's information, as far as credit cards, all of that. We want to make sure we have tokenization and processing, PCI compliance. It's all extremely important. So I really hope that everyone is enjoying the webinar so far. You know, a quick shout out, yes, let me know that I'm doing okay over there in that chat box would be awesome, in the questions box. But with that being said, what we've covered so far, oh, thank you. What we've covered so far, just to reiterate one more time, success is all about targeting. You can find so many different things on Google to be able to look into Facebook advertising. And remember, I talked about lookalike audiences, custom email lists. We talked about what demographic it is. You have to know your area. You have to know who you're targeting and try different things. Try a great picture of your facility in one ad. Find a funny cat doing, a funny cat swimming GIF to put in one of the ads and see how that works out for you. Change it up. See what gets you the most interaction. Even when people are interested, you have to create a sense of urgency for them to act now. One important part that I forgot to mention is that most camps do have a capacity. So you can only accommodate, let's say, 100 children a week or something of that nature. When you get people registered early on, you can create even more urgency down the line to fill your spots by saying, hey, there is only 15 spots left for the entire summer. And people are going to look at that in hopefully April and be like, ooh, I need to sign up right now, right now. So making sure that you are giving them a compelling reason to get in touch with you first or to sign up now. People often abandon those forms because they are too hard to fill out. Don't forget, mom ADHD is real, okay? It is a real thing. We are being pulled in too many different directions, and I don't mean to leave dads out. Sorry, I'm just speaking in first person here. But you want to capture just the information. You could have two different forms out in the interwebs, that one for capturing information because they just want to know about what it is that you offer. You could have another one out there, a different form out there for people to actually sign up and pay, okay? So we could ask on that information form, just a couple basic questions. How old is your child? What is it that you're hoping to get out of this experience? So again, if there's any questions about that, feel free to go ahead and type them into the questions box, and we'll talk about questions in just a few minutes, okay? So who's ready to see the software that hundreds of camps all over the country use for successful online registration? Go ahead, I'm going to take a sip of water. You let me know. All right, let's do it. We use Event Manager by Member Solutions, online registration software. All right, Event Manager is the easiest way to create an online sign-up form. You can create an online registration page in under 10 minutes. And again, don't forget that this link that each of these forms create can be used to advertise on Facebook, on your website, on your own personal website. You do not need a website from us. and in your emails. It securely processes payments online and deposits them right into your bank account. We can even set up days that make the most sense for you. You can tack in electronic liability waivers, terms and conditions. We can do a bunch of great different things. We can post pictures if you're selling camp t-shirts, things of that nature. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with that. And you have real-time registration reports. We can target reports. We can say, I want to see everyone who's selected 5 to 7 years old, and we can set up a series of emails to go out to that audience only. So there's lots of really great things that we can do as far as keeping in contact with the people that have registered or requested information from you. Today, this special here is going on until Friday, so you have some time to reach out to one of our client consultants and get a quick demo if you want to. But if you sign up for Event Manager by the end of the week, 5 p.m. Eastern on Friday, you'll get 30 days for $1. It's a $28.95 savings. We're going to add in 24 templates for summer camps, tournaments, birthday parties, seminars. There is so much that you can do with this program. The camp that I work with, they actually use this all throughout the year for fundraising. So if they're doing any kind of fundraising throughout the year to pull in money for the summer, because they do a subsidized camp, they use the Event Manager form, whether it's for free or paid events. We even use a form for donations. We're going to send you tips on 12 ways to instantly increase your camp signups, which is a $9.99 value. Oh, I'm sorry, the 24 templates that have been built by us is a $249 value. But the 12 ways to instantly increase camp signups, $9.99. 1 hour of live one-on-one training with Event Manager software specialists. This is a $149 value. So your total value today would be $437.94. If you are interested in going ahead and seeing that program, you can absolutely reach out to us, or you can click, you can go to the URL membersolutions.com/EM offer. You can see that right there at the bottom of the screen, membersolutions.com/EM offer. Okay. If there's any questions, give me just 1 second here. I'm going to try and scroll through. I did see a question in there. Sorry, give me 1 second. Simple question. Where is the Facebook's ad manager tab? So you have to have a business page set up for your camp, and then you're going to see a drop down under more. There's going to be a little toolbar, and there'll be a more drop down, and then you'll see create ad. So you'll have to create an ad in order to manage your ads. So that's where you would find that. I hope that answered. Amy, hey, Miranda, is this going to be recorded?
Yes, absolutely. We will send out a recording to anyone who registered, even if you missed it. So if you have a friend who wasn't able to attend today, they'll still get a copy as well.
Wonderful. So Roy, using my Event Manager link on Facebook, so that would be a link to my registration form? Absolutely. So when you create a form in Event Manager, a unique URL for that specific form is going to be generated by the program. You can take that and you can post it right into the status bar. A lot of people actually use Facebook events, and instead of going interested, no, in the description, they're going to put the link. Hey, make sure in the description section, you click the link and register. So you can use that in Facebook events. You can use it in your statuses. It'll even generate a pretty picture from your form so that it draws more attention on your Facebook page. What categories are best for describing your market audience? Outdoors, hiking. I've used this, but I haven't gotten to the house value lookalike. So, to be honest with you, Joe, when it comes to summer camps, I wouldn't even go that specific on the outdoors hiking. You know what your camp costs, and you should know what the median income is in your area. You should know what the average house cost is. What do people need to be able to make to afford your camp? So I would stick more general, because even though my child hates outdoors and hiking, she hates it. She loves that 12 days of summer when she does go to camp. You won't catch the child outside the other 350 50 days, right? 52, 3, whatever. But so I would keep it very general. What age group of children should these people have, and about how much money should, they either make or their home value, because that gives you an idea of whether or not they can afford it. What is the price range recommended for first-time Facebook advertisers? Miranda really does all of that for me, so I just tell her to make it, and she pays it. So, any insight there, Miranda?
Yeah, I would think that depends a little bit on how big your target audience is. I would say take a look at your target audience, and Facebook actually will sometimes be able to recommend things for you. I would choose a standard time frame and a standard amount to try to start with. So it might be $100 for a week, and you test that, and then you would try different variations of those ads until you feel like you've gotten it right. And at that point, then you're going to have a better idea of where to go from there. But I'd say whatever you feel comfortable with, whether it be $50 or $100, and let it go for several days and see how it performs.
Hey, Stephanie, too, I also want to answer this for you. Stephanie has a question about the registration. They have their form set up where you have to pay something in order to complete a registration. Is this a deterrent? That depends. If your people are really engaged with what you're doing, or they already know what it is that you're all about, it could be. If you don't have any way for them to reach out to you just to get an idea of information, I might want to call you and say, hey, my child has a learning disability. Is this going to be a problem for your camp? But I'm only at my computer. I'm at work. I can't call you. So you might want to have a way out there. Hey, just looking for more information? Click here. Hey, ready to get started? Click here. Now, you may have some things. What you could always do is just be like, come and spend the day with us for $10 and we'll give you the full camp experience, right? Something of that nature to get people in if you have to absolutely accept payment. So I hope that helps a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
Someone asked if there will be more information on Facebook advertising outside of this webinar, and actually we will be following up with some information. So if you'd like to get in touch with us, on the next slide we have some contact information. If you want to send an email to info@membersolutions.com, we can follow up with more information on Facebook advertising, online advertising, email marketing as well. So we cover lots of different areas in these webinars, but we can't get to everything, obviously, at one time. So yeah, if you'd like more information on anything like that, though, just let us know.
Hi, Joe. On your camp business page, you should see at the top, there's a toolbar, like a bar that has your drop-down boxes and there should be one that says more. That's a drop-down box. And we can always take this offline. If you want to shoot an email over to info@membersolutions.com, I'll go ahead and send you some screenshots so that can help you out a little bit more. Just remind me that that's what you're looking for. Okay, I'm going to put I'm actually going to go ahead and put the contact us back up there. Camp business page, great. All this is good.
Sorry, guys. We've gotten a lot of really good questions, and we're trying to get to some of the common ones here. Again, if we don't get to yours, please shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you.
Hey, yes, Jennifer, especially because you guys are camps, people are really willing to travel. And if you're an overnight camp, that is absolutely a fantastic question. So I would say in the cases of overnight camps, and maybe you do day camp and overnight camp, so it might make sense for you to do a more localized day camp and then do an outspread of about 3 hours. So whatever 3 hours would be, however many miles that would be outside of your city for an overnight camp, a lot of people would be willing to travel. So that's a really great question. Roy, I'm so glad that you're using Event Manager. I hope you're having a lot of good success with it. You know that you can always reach out to our support team if you have any questions or need to know how to use it for other events that you're hosting. How long do we run ads? Joe, again, that's going to be, you're just going to have to do some testing. It really depends on your audience. So I would start with a week. See how that goes, and I would switch up your offers. You could have the same 2 offers and just switch them out every other week. There was one thing that I did mean to touch on when it comes to your urgency, because somebody had just mentioned that, the sense of urgency. There's a really, really important point to your time limited, your capacity limited, and that is to make sure you stick to it. That is your integrity in in marketing. So if you say that there's only 20 spots available or it is expiring on February 20th, don't bend the rules. You can offer that same offer in a couple weeks or a week later, but don't bend the rules on it this time, because people will catch wind of it, believe it or not. People are very, very open, like, hey, they'll go onto your social media page, like, I missed the cutoff for this really cool deal, but the camp director gave it to me anyway. You don't want to do that, because then the next time that you run an ad, that urgency is null and void. People don't believe you anymore. So I did want to point that out. If there's any other, go ahead.
We probably have time for maybe one more question.
Perfect. All right, if there's no other questions. Oh, yes. How do you break into a new city? Joe,
Well,
got an idea?
some I would say a marketing plan in general. You're going to want to do more than just Facebook ads. Obviously, you're going to want to complement that with a lot of other activities. And part of that would be focusing on your Facebook business page, where you're going to want to post frequently, get your story out, try to engage with some members of the community if there are other organizations you can partner with, or community or school-based organizations are always great to connect with and try to establish yourself as a new member of the community. All right, that's all the time we have for questions. Thank you, everyone. We got a lot of really great questions. I hope we were able to address yours. If not, please do send us an email or give us a call. I want to thank everyone for being here. We had a really great time. We love the feedback we've gotten so far. And thank you, Sarah, for all the tips. I'm sure everyone is really excited to get out and try to use them. I just want to say, those of you who are clients of ours already, you know that these webinars are a part of what you receive when you decide to partner with us. We love being able to provide these types of educational resources to help you, like webinars, blog articles, ebooks, what have you. And for those of you who aren't clients yet, please remember to take advantage of that offer that Sarah mentioned with our Event Manager software for online registration. You'll get the bonuses Sarah talked about, and you'll get to meet with a member of our team like Sarah, who will walk you through the best ways to use the software to increase your registrations and for Facebook ads. So again, thank you everyone so much, and we hope you have a great day.